right, we're ready to put some cards together. We're going to start with the simplest ones, which is our 3x3s. These are 3x6, and I have scored it at 3 inches, so I have a little 3x3 card. We're going to be using our 2 rectangles and our colored, whoops, not that flower, but our colored banners. This is really simple. So I'm going to take, oh, let's see. This is the other fun part. You get to kind of play. Let me get my samples in here. Looks like I'm going to go pink and brown sugar, and then the pumpkin pie and the old olive. So we're going to start with the old olive here, and I'm just going to put some adhesive across the bottom. And you can see I've kind of staggered those just a little bit, and I'm just going to come in and give that a press. Okay, if you need to adjust it at this point, you can. And then I'm just going to go over it with snail just to kind of secure it. And then we're going to adhere that one on our 3x3. We're going to repeat that exact same process with the remaining pieces. All right, those are done. Let's move on to our next card. Next, we're going to be using our note cards and matching envelopes. Now, this comes as a set, so you get the envelopes and the cardstock. It's already scored for you. You get 20 in a package. These are another one of those kind of little hidden gems, especially for those of you who really don't like to cut cardstock and don't like to score cardstock. These are awesome because all the work is done for you. So I'm going to take those 2 cards. I'm going to go ahead and set the envelopes off to the side because we're going to work on those at the end. And this is the one that we're going to be using our 2 tags on. So I'm going to take one of them this way and one of them that way. Very, very simple. I'm just going to adhere this one on that way, and the Melon Mambo one, and we're going to put it up at the top. All right, pretty darn ugly, wouldn't you say? Let's spiff that up just a little bit. I have some little bows that I made using the 1/8 inch. Whoops, wait a minute. Oops, whoops, whoops. I forgot I punched out some cute little flowers. I knew it needed something. Let's come in with these 2 flowers. And you guys know my little trick that I love to do with my paper piercing mat. When you just take the end of, oh, where's my paper piercer? I thought I brought it in here. I'm so sorry. Oh, there it is. It was just hiding behind an ink pad. I love to take, not my paper piercer, although that works too. I'm going to use this stylus tool. And you can see we can just give those a poke, and it really gives great dimension to my flowers. So now let's take these and a mini glue dot, because you know I love me some mini glue dots. And we're going to take the orange one and put it right back on that orange. And the pink, the Melon Mambo, we're going to put right there. Now I'm going to come in with those bows, and let me just attach one to the center of that flower and another one to the center of this flower. Now, as I was kind of saying before, at this point we could actually leave these absolutely blank, and you can come in and stamp your sentiment when you're ready. We're going to go ahead and finish these up, but I'm going to put my sentiments on at the end. So let's keep moving along. All right, so now we have our 3 remaining cards, and these are just our A2 or medium size. So let me go ahead and give this a quick fold, and we're going to use those little scallops that we punched out. We're going to put Stampin' Dimensionals on the back of these, quickie quickies. And these are just going to go across the card. In fact, you know what? I think what I'm going to do, because this is so self-explanatory, let me just bring in the finished one. You can see I just laid them across the front. You guys remember my trick? I lay them all out. I don't press anything down. So I have the ability to wiggle around a little bit, move things around. When I'm happy with it, I can give that a press. And you can see I've just added a little just a knotted piece of ribbon, actually just tied over once. It's with a mini glue dot, and I put that in the middle of one of them. So that card is complete. We're going to go on to our next one. This one, I'm not going to say it's complicated, but it's definitely the one that you want to maybe kind of play with just a little bit before you put it together. And this is the one with the 4 squares. So remember, we stamped on the back, so that's my ugly side. I'm going to adhere that onto my card. Let me take the Old Olive here. We're going to adhere it right underneath the pumpkin pie. Now these remaining two, I'm actually going to put Stampin' Dimensionals on these because this card looks a lot better when it has some dimension. So we'll put that on there. Let's start with the baked brown sugar. And I'm just going to kind of go a little off with this one right there. And now with the Melon Mambo, making sure when you put this Melon Mambo on, we need room to put our sentiment. So we don't want to go too crazy. So I'm just going to lay it right there. So that is just a really great little, little base layout. So that one is done. Looks like we just have one to go. And so we're going to get this one going. Let me fold this. And let's see. Look at me dig around on my paper looking for my last one. This is our last one here. So let's go ahead and bring in our four little remaining little strips here. I'm going to come in. I've got all four of them together. I'm going to come in with my paper snips and I'm going to give that a cut to the middle. That's going to ensure that all of my flags will stay the same. And you can see I'm just cutting up from the side up to that point. Okay, I have those done, but before I do anything else, I'm going to come in with the flower from the Itty Bitty Punch Pack. And I'm going to punch. I will tell you, I like to line up the punch, the end of it, with the end of the punch itself. The reason why I found a few times when I was trying to work with it, I got too close to the top. But I found if I put it in this way versus coming in this way, it kind of ensured I wasn't going to mess it up. So we're going to punch a flower out of each one of my flags. All right, we've got that done. We're doing great. Now, I'm going to go ahead and take my four little banners that I cut out. Let me go ahead and move that out of the way. And I'm going to go ahead and adhere these. Let's see, I do change up the colors, so I'm going to do, these banners are going to hide that, because you know we hide everything. So we're going to hide that. And let's see, this Old Olive one looks like it's going to go on the baked brown sugar. And then Melon Mambo will go on the pumpkin pie, not tangerine. We're going to go pumpkin pie. And then my last one, my baked brown sugar, will happily go on my Old Olive. Okay, so we've covered that up. We've got these great flowers sitting here. Let's go ahead and bring in the card. And this one, this is why I say this one is a little bit trickier because, again, just kind of like we do, I'm just going to lightly lay that on there. I'm not pressing anything on yet. And I'm going to take my next one and I'm just going to start to take these flags coming around in a banner style. And you can see it's like I got to the end. It's like, okay, these need to come apart just a little bit. This is why you don't want to adhere anything down until you're really sure you're happy with it, because we do have a little work that we sometimes want to do. So I'm going to just move that one there. Can you see? And I do have space in between. I am happy with how that looks, so I'm going to go ahead and give those a press. I can now take these little flowers and mini glue dots. I'm going to be honest, they're just my best friends sometimes. And I'm going to use those, and it's just going to kind of hide that gap. So we'll take the pumpkin pie. Again, we want to alternate colors. We don't want colors touching one another. Where did my Old Olive? There he is. And we'll press that one down and go here. And I do realize we have this one left over. You are welcome to take it and stick it on the end and then just trim it down. And we can just trim off that extra. That's entirely up to you. It's, you know, it may not even bother you that that's there. All right, we now have all of our cards done, and it's now time to get to work on our sentiments.